us welcome to the stage Alfred Chung, Chairman of Life Insurance Council InsurTech Task Force from the Hong Kong Federation of Insurers. Alan Chung, Senior Director from the Hong Kong Applied Science and Technology Research Institute. Coming from Deloitte, Joanna Wong, our Hong Kong insurance leader. And Sammy Shum, our Human Capital Advisory Partner. This panel discussion will be moderated by Edward Au, our Southern Region Managing Partner.
So as Joanna just mentioned about the trends of the insurance industry, I'm sure that the insurance ecosystem is evolving globally quickly and to some extent this part of the world. So insurance can no longer just rely on the traditional ways while the prevailing technological and strategic forces, just really surrounding them. And on the other hand, as a current economical and geographical uncertainties, eventually, I'm sure that everyone will hope, open up to a brighter future. So insurance should embrace innovation and technology across the value chain in order to, with a hope to secure the loyalty and trust of the future policyholders. So today, our panelist speakers would like to share, their perspective of what, insurer of the future mean to them. So really, my first question, to all of you is, similar to many other industries, where digitalization has been critical. So innovation and technology should not be simply adopted by the insurance for the sake of just catching up the trends. And surely this is not really enough to sustain a competitive edge. So with this as our backdrop, the panelists definitely, as I mentioned, will share with us today about what does the insurance future mean to them. So first of all, Alfred, from an industry perspective, so where do you see, the future globally?
Thanks everyone for having me here. In my view, I think insurers of the future should embrace new technology, as mentioned, to improve the customer experience, resolve their pain points, of course, optimize the value chain and grow beyond the offline to online, not only on the sales channel, but also the operation model. I think the key success factor is how to well manage the data you own and collect, and also leverage the connectivity to provide a quality service to our customers. May I quote two examples to illustrate the point? The first one is the e-channel of our sales in our mobile bank. And we have successfully built the full spectrum of product to fulfill the customer needs, such as life and health protection, saving, retirement planning, etc. Actually, working on the data-driven campaigns, and we produce up to 1 billion Hong Kong dollar new business every year. I think the second example is deserve to mention here is the Open API project. We have been working with Insurance Authority. We have submitted a use case to the Insurance Authority of the Open API project. And the objective is to narrow the population protection gap of Hong Kong population. And actually, the beauty of the Open API use case is to we do the underwriting instantly, and offer the issue the policy instantly as well. And actually, and most importantly, we actually do offer the insurance solution to the customer at the right time that they need it most. So I think in a nutshell, I think the future, the insurance of the future have to embrace the new technology and unlock their digital potential to run their business. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Alfred. Definitely technology will drive, our future and also the whole industry. So, definitely, the next question to Alan, you are really, on the research and development of technology. So, from an INT perspective, what are the trails of, an insurance future from your perspective?
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm Alan. While Dennis just mentioned a few technologies that we have been working on, I'm leading a division within Astri, driving all the fintech and smart city developments. So over the years, we have been working closely with the financial regulator, Hong Kong MA, and different banks on developing latest fintech application to serve them. While now we are more shifting our focus or actually expanding our development to help the insurance industry. We have been talking to many insurance companies, including also the insurance authority, understanding that getting data for more insurance application is very crucial. We have been talking to people understanding talent, technology, and data are the utmost importance to drive insurance industry forward. But how to get quality data in the future is a very key element for getting better insurance products to serve different customers, to understand their needs and also the risk. I think getting more data, one method is to using more IoT sensors. Like currently, I think a lot of health-related insurance products rely on customer using their smart devices, smartphones, smart watches to measuring their health habits and see if there's any potential risks of their bodies. But for other kind of insurance products like building insurance or car insurance, maybe they can use more driving sensors in the cars or building sensors to measure the risk of the buildings as well. Also, I think climate risk is also one important topic right now, and a lot of climate sensors are also important to measure the risk on this particular area. So not only using sensors, but also maybe getting third-party data, as Alfred mentioned. How to connect with more parties to get those data are also crucial. But when getting that particular data, I think user consent management and data security is also one key area we need to look into to make sure the data wouldn't pass to unauthorized parties during all this application. And also, after getting all this data, how to make use of it. For example, how to develop better data analytic tools or artificial intelligence, how to get the most out of this data to get the understanding it and make recommendation and prediction to it are also very important. That's what our research teams are most focused right now. So hopefully in the future, getting better products with predictability and transparency so that both the insurers and the customer feel safe and transparent in all these developments are very crucial. And I hope that Astri can serve in this particular area.
Well, thank you, Alan. So I heard that, Alfred mentioned technology, and then Alan mentioned data, and also how data can improve, the development products. So, but definitely, that for the insurance industry, people is actually a very critical component of the system. So, Sammy, I understand that you are involved in the HR part, or human capital part. So, from a people perspective, how does the future of, work for the, insurance? Like, can you share some perspective?
Yep, sure, I would. So good morning, everyone. So this is Sammy. I'm from Deloitte, so I predominantly focus on the people piece. So that's why I would like to share a bit more from the talent aspect. I think there's a lot of conversation about culture and talents, and how do we make sure that, given all the great stuff Alfred and Alan's been sharing around the trend from the technology and innovation side, how do we make sure that from the people and talent aspect, we can really capitalize these opportunities? So I guess wanted to start with this, as you can imagine, when we get into this new disruption as from the technology and innovation side, it's definitely opened up a new opportunity for us to reposition ourselves in front of our talents, either within the sector or beyond the insurance sector. In other words, I think from the positive lens, it definitely gives us much more opportunity and stronger value proposition to attract, grow, and retain our talents from different workforce. Now, on the flip side, I guess probably all the sector here in the past few years has been struggle with the talent question as well. So just a few observations how we see insurers have been dealing with that. To start with, I guess retention, acquisition, and also sustaining the workforce has been a crux of the whole organization sustainability. We've been seeing a lot of organizations in the past few years, as we look at the attrition rate, I think it stands around 25 to max to 50 across the critical segments within the organization. If you think about it, I think there's a lot of effort investing in acquiring, retaining, and retraining the talents in the past few years. It's going to hit our OPEX in the long run if we don't address the people issue. So we'll be seeing some organizations start to think about how do we expand the talent sourcing model beyond just your home geography. So the question lands in either is about outsourcing or captive model, whether we're only outsourcing or exploring autonomous sourcing, really focusing on the operational number of the organization, or really we're even thinking about setting up some maybe COE and some of the deal hub set up beyond your home country, and thus we're expanding the talent source to fill our needs. So that's one thing we've been observing, at least in the past few months, has been a prominent theme that we're getting into the talent sustainability question, and thus the sourcing strategy has become very important, and it's definitely no longer an HR question. Now, the second part that comes in, when we get done with getting the talent into the shop, then the second question, I think, is around the culture. I think Joanna and Neil, and I think a couple of leaders talk about a right culture to retain and integrate our talent. So I guess the biggest challenge right now is we're shifting from more than traditional insurance organization into a digital organization. And we have a much more diverse workforce getting into our shop. So beginning, we'll be working with a few insurers. They're getting a lot of tech talents from other industry. Now the question here is how do we make sure that they feel included as part of the organization? So practically, it's not just about having a speech and making them feel good as part of onboarding. Practically, what's their career path and merging and integrating into our shop? What is their proposition as in digital talents within an insurance organization? Are they still positioned as in tech talents, or they're actually standing at the middle office, even the front line? We're building into more than joint setup product in the market. So positioning and make sure that the talents across different workforce are being inclusive. I think it's also linking back to the DEI topic. So that's one thing, the DEI culture. Now, the second piece is we look at no matter it's the traditional talents or the tech talents, eventually the speed to the market, we still hopefully they would embrace the right minds and the ways of working as we get into this digital era. And third, I think, how do we build an agile culture within the organization? Probably is another big question to address. And in the practical lens, it gets into how we position, how the organization layering is being optimized, and thus people either they're new to the organization and the mid-level or cross different functions are empowered to make decisions and be speedy in terms of deploying the product to the market. So those are a couple of key themes from the people lens, and I guess hopefully we're happy to exchange more in the later on conversation. Yep.
Thank you, Sammy. Definitely, technology is actually driving, the development industry. But clearly, we really need something to stick the people together in order, to contribute back to the industry and pushing the industry to the future. People is a critical component of the industry. So now, let's dive deeper into areas across the value chain where insurers can strive to become, the insurer of the future. Joanna, can you just, tell me more about this?
Absolutely, and thank you, Howard. That's a great question. Right? I think to be able to achieve disruptive yet sustainable changes across the value chain is key to the success of any insurance companies wanting to become the insurer of the future. And in my view, I think there are a number of areas where insurers can consider. First being distribution, second being product and proposition, third, really being ops and tech. Last but not the least, the trade-off between risk and capital. So let me first start off with distribution. I think every one of you in the room here would agree with me that Traditionally, the Asian insurance industry has been quite heavily intermediated. But to me, I think that's the past. In the last couple of years, we're seeing a lot of insurance companies who want to grow their business are seeking to develop new partnerships, sometimes outside of the insurance industries. For example, with healthcare providers and even retailers, to be able to offer, new products or services to their customers, and also as a means to accelerate their market entry, right? And to really be able to release or unleash the power of such partnerships, the implementation of such partnership model is critical. To enable the value to be unlocked. And a lot of the time, successful partnerships will yield really better customer experiences, a much intuitive and seamless experience for the customers, which is good for the business, right? But at the same time, I do feel that the intermediaries are definitely here to stay, and to enable them to really fully integrate into the new normal or the new ecosystem. The million-dollar questions for insurance companies is how can they optimize the investment in the digitally enabling these intermediaries to make sure that it's going to be a win-win for everyone. The second point is around product and proposition. And I think for insurance companies to be able to future-proof their businesses, they really need to shift away from providing products, but rather providing solutions that suits the individual needs of their customers. So I do believe that customization to provide to address individual needs, and also having an understanding of the specific risk profiles of each individual is critical. And this would require insurers of the future to really leverage technology as well as advanced analytics to be able to provide, for example, on-demand or usage-based solutions, and sometimes in the form of embedded insurance. Next, I would say that we should consider operations and technology, which is crucial for any insurance companies. And to really be able to capitalize on this, and when it comes to generating new revenue and optimizing margins, insurers really need to think about what sort of core capabilities are required for them to support any new business model, be it digital or not, that they want to get into. It could be a B2C model. It could be, an insurer wanting to orchestrate a larger ecosystem or simply be a participant of an ecosystem, or it could be a non-insurance companies entering that market for the first time. Whatever it may be, I think insurance companies really need to firstly effectively define what those capabilities are, and only when they have done that should they use technology to scale these core capabilities so that they could deliver value for all the stakeholders involved. Last but not the least, and I think this point is quite interesting and important, is for us to consider the trade-off between risk and reward due to the changing customer behaviors. I think the newer or the new generation of policyholders, unlike their predecessors, are very open to sharing data, sometimes personal data, with insurance companies. And this has great implications for all insurance companies because, this will help them better make decisions on an individual basis, and to be able to, provide solutions that are very tailored to individual needs, right? And this will also allow them, and I think, Ellen, you've talked about this, ensures the ability to collect data that we were not able to collect before through, IoT devices and connected platforms. And we all know that connected insurance products is actually quite, beneficial to the end customer when it comes to providing discounts, and also from an insurer perspective in terms of risk management. So it's definitely a win-win that we should all consider as we're thinking about this topic.
Okay, thank you, Joanna. Definitely, this is really, a good insight regarding how Alfred mentioned, again, technology, and then Alan, data. How we can, organize the data to improve products, and then Sammy about how the industry needs the people to really, push out, all kinds of new initiatives, and eventually, Joanna, you mentioned about the risks, and also how we could leverage technology and other tools in order to build an insurance future. So Greg, so let's come back, to Hong Kong and the Greater Bay Area. So what are the opportunities and challenges for insurers aspiring to become an insurance future? I'm sure that you have, each of you have some insights. Maybe we can just let, Sammy share, some perspective on the challenges and opportunities. Briefly.
Yeah, sure. So I'm probably more coming from the talent question as well. So as I mentioned early on, Bay Area definitely opened up a new talent pipeline for us. And then the question lands in how do we leverage this space to actually backfill our digital talents. And we do see insurers not only outsourcing or probably setting up centers who are more from the development and also the operational arm. There are some technical or critical roles also put into that region as well. And building on that, we've been also seeing insurers has been trying to partner with some of the local tertiary education, really looking into building some of the right digital insurance talents right from the school. So I guess this definitely opened up a new opportunity for us to tap into the talent pool right there. Now, quickly on another point, this is really looking into the cross-border integration of talents between the two regions. How do we make sure that we build a truly inclusive and also what we typically say is skill-based organization that will reward people purely by the skill and capability, and thus is really try to really remove the boundary between the two regions and making sure that we have more integrated workforce. We could support both locally and also in the Bay Area region. So I guess this was some views from the talent aspect. Yeah.
Great. Alfred.
Yeah, thank you. I do think that the insurers of future really rely on the how well they serve the population of 17 million and address their insurance needs. But there are three jurisdictions in the GBA that, and I think the future also lies on how well we collaborate and work together with tech firms to capture the opportunities and resolve the challenges in the GBA business. For example, as you know, the Personal Information Protection Law was effective last November. And there's a section about the cross-border data, and it requires a separate assessment conducted by the regulators. I think some new technologies such as blockchains really help resolve the concerns of data privacy of the regulator and the customers as well. So I do think that the insurers of future really can get use of the tech support from the tech firms and also the entrepreneurship as well to turn the challenge to opportunities.
Yeah, great. How about Alan?
Okay, I think privacy issue is one of the key topics many people are concerning about when using personal or sensitive data. As Dennis and Selena may have mentioned, we are working on a new technology called federated learning, so we can get data insight from different data providers in order to have a better picture of the insurance industry, and hopefully can tailor-make some newer products for different customers. So for example, like a person may have their own health data in a certain healthcare provider, but when insurance companies may want to get his own data, it can be driven by consent management. However, how well his data would compare to other patients with similar disease or previous medical history cannot be facilitated in the previous scenario. Now, federated learning can enable it. They can get how well they can compare to other people's health records, and then can tailor-make certain products with their own risk in that particular disease or health issues. So I think this technology is a breakthrough in order to get insights from more data provider and tailor-make some newer products for the insurance industry. And it doesn't only work in the local aspect, and potentially it can be extended to GBA or international arena so that you can get data from more places in order to get data insights overall. I think this is a very key breakthrough in technologies which can help the industry. I know that in the insurance industry are facing two big issues. I think elderly is one issue, and also ESG or climate risk is another one. I think as ASTRI, as a research institute, we are always looking into next generation technologies and hopefully serve the whole industry. And I think Hong Kong IA is also doing a lot of a good effort right now. Their future task force is working with us closely, and hopefully we can announce more applications to serve the industry later on. Thank you.
Yeah, Joanna.
I would like to think that there are more opportunities than challenges for us. As many of you have mentioned, I think the insurance industry is an integral part of Hong Kong becoming a truly global financial services hub. And I think there's no better time than now for us as an industry to really disrupt the traditional business model that have served us well for so many years. By taking advantage of the dual circulation strategy, which offers us a lot of opportunities, not only in the GBA, but globally, to take advantage of to really let our industry flourish. So I can't agree more with all of you here that key opportunities really lies in areas of health and wealth management. Aging top population is definitely a key one that we all need to help support and solve as an industry. And also, Hong Kong having a more significant role to play in terms of the provision of reinsurance are just some of the ideas that I would like to share with this group.
So sure, so although we actually discussed about the insured future, but since future is now, so definitely we all have the insight and perspective, from all the panelists about federated learning and also, integration of talent between, GBA and Hong Kong, as well as technology, etc. So thank you very much for sharing perspective. Thank you.